All right, folks, good morning and welcome on back here to the Cyber Group Trading Room and streaming across social media here, Facebook Live and YouTube, here with our morning meeting. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. And if you were to take a guess, well, this is not Fausto. My name is Josh Levitan. For anybody tuning in for the first time on social media, welcome back, guys. Great to see everybody. Bonnie, Pat, Greg, Jose, James, Cliff, great to see you all. Loud and clear from all. Kathleen as well, and Debbie. All right, folks, perfect. So a couple of things. Fausto is out for the day today. I'm not sure what he's doing. He may have informed me back at the end of last week, but I forgot off the top of my head right now. He'll be back tomorrow, especially tomorrow for all of us here live inside the trading room, all of our students. We have the Phase 3 stock course, guys, beginning tomorrow. So let me see if that's on the PowerPoint slide here. It is not. All right, we'll keep everybody up to date, at least inside our live trading room, of course, with this in mind. Phase 3 we'll be doing, guys, tomorrow. Tomorrow live at the Market Open. That's a live trading session with Fausto himself. So for anybody tuning in on social media, just make sure that you guys contact us if you'd like to learn more. But you'll get to see the man himself just plug away his entries and exits, kind of react and trade from our morning watch list. All right, guys. So with that, let's kind of just jump right away to a few stocks that were moving from pre-market. I wanted to recap last week, but really, I mean, the CBAT was one of them that ended up making a big pop. This was geared more towards Thursday and Friday of last week, but out of nowhere, right before I started the meeting here, ended up seeing a big pop. So I wanted to take a look on Benzinga Pro and see if there's any news headline. I would assume there to be, but actually looking right now, there really isn't. No news snippet just yet on the CBAT trade, but obviously a big pop. When it started to move up here, I had called it out. We didn't know if there was any news coming out at the time here, right? So here, when it was starting to run up, I had said, I'm not really fully trusting it just yet. My reasoning for that was based on what we ended up seeing from Friday and Thursday of last week too. Although it ended up pushing up pretty nicely for us in pre-market on Friday, it ended up dumping off as soon as the market opened up. And from there, the volume dissipated as well. The volume traded per minute. So, this is a very pump and dumpish type stock. You can see right here, back from 1 o'clock on Thursday, ended up running up, spiking up, didn't even hit 2. You would figure a whole number resistance like 2, this big volume spike would be based on that. Nope, I think it was more off 150. Either way, though, it ends up making the squeeze up, coming back down. So, this stock has kind of been like that pump and dump move for us in the past. So that led me to say that this morning, but here we are now. So, hey, there doesn't need to be a news headline out there for me to put a stock right away on our morning watch list. I just wanted to copy and paste for all of us here live, at least. But yeah, once I see it, I'll do that. But CBAT, how could we not start by putting this on our list here to begin? So, given the volume traded, I would say resistance would be off of either 340 or 350. 340 from the chart, but probably 350, just a larger order that will be on the ask once the market opens up. You can see, if anything, more volume filled from this morning, the last few minutes around 330, 325-ish. So that could be resistance here too before it even moves up to 350 perhaps after the open. But yeah, we'll put this on our list, CBAT here. Now, if CBAT is pushing up, I want to take a look at the others. And I was going to anyway, but from last week, we ended up killing it, guys, on a few of these energy stocks that ended up squeezing up for us. Pola, POLA, this was one of the sharper moves across the end of last week, too, from Thursday into Friday. I mean, you could even see it here on the daily chart, guys. Look at this. Opened up at $1.70, hit a high of 380, closed at 192. So for as much as it pumped up, it dumped back down, and then it ended up running in the after hours and the pre-market the following morning. Same thing happened, though. After 9:30, much like we ended up just seeing on CBAT, ended up dumping off right away, right? This is Friday's chart on Pola. So you figure if CBAT can move, perhaps Pola can as well. I saw one of our students, Kathleen, call it out, and this was before the CBAT pop, but perhaps this will get some love with it. But yeah, alongside those two, we ended up doing pretty well. This one getting a little bit more volume here too. Sunworks, same move, right? So this one I'm more inclined to put on the list, just given the spreads being tighter on level 3, the order book being more filled in altogether. And just given the pop, the volume that was filled already. So Sun W, I don't mind just putting on our list alongside the CBAT for right now. Maybe they're all just kind of short squeezes. There doesn't need to be news to see that happen. Maybe more shorts are covering their trades, and perhaps we'll see this make like a secondary run up compared to last week. All right. The big one though from last week, of course, I'd be remiss to not mention SPI. So, SPI might move with them guys, but this one trades a lot less volume on the order book, bigger spread, and the orders fluctuate on the bid and the ask more. So it's a tougher trade. So I'd rather focus on the two that we put on the list so far, the CBAT and the SunW for right now. If this ends up moving up, just don't be surprised. That's it. Don't let it be a distraction. All right, so we got a couple of us saying SRNE Sorrento live inside our trading room. So you know what? I'm a sucker for SRNE, guys. I'll jump right to that. And yeah, fantastic call. So I'm going to dive right into Benzinga Pro. We love trading SRNE. We ended up seeing INO, Inovio Pharmaceuticals, drop off early this morning. We would get to that, of course, in a moment. SRNE, let's see. My Benzinga Pro now acting kind of slow. All right, my Benzinga Pro is taking a little while to load, guys. So you know what? I'll just push through right now. I'll copy and paste once I see it. But great call. Again, same thing. We don't need to see the headline to put it on the list. We'll put it on the list already. But yeah, we'll find out what's going on here. All right, and then you know what we'll do? Actually, just dive right through from percent gainers to losers list. I really want to jump to the INO down so much that news came out in relation to the FDA. I think suspending, or perhaps it was Inovio suspending its run on the vaccine trials, right? The phase 2 and phase 3 trials. But the FDA had a bunch of questions for them. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Let's just go from top to bottom with all this in mind, guys. PLL to begin. The hell's going on here? 240+%. Oh, man, I had the news on all of this. I just refreshed my Benzinga Pro and I lost it all. So PLL is up huge. I think it was in relation to Tesla partnership. Yeah, that's right, Greg. All right, I appreciate that. Greg from our trading room here not only posted the news with Sorrento, he posted the news right here for PLL. Great call. So, yeah, we're going to copy and paste for all of us here tuning in on social media. Just really quick, PLL, an agreement with Tesla for lithium. That's right. That's what I remember. So we ended up seeing a big squeeze up shortly, even after 7 a.m. Ended up diving off, though, and now getting a little bit more volume filled. 38, you could see the big level there on time and sales. All right, so this is certainly more of a level 5 trade. Definitely, the spread will be pretty big after the market opens up. The orders will be kind of scattered out and scarce on the bid and the ask. So, as a newly enrolled student, do not look to trade this stock. There's going to be a lot safer, less risk stocks to trade with. Even like the SunW, that's pretty volatile still, but the order book is pretty filled in. So, for new students joining us, new trial members, if you are on social media, if you're looking to follow our picks kind of naked from the side, not being inside our trading room, focus on a stock that has a tighter spread. That said, PLL definitely will put this on our list, just given the news, the pop, the volume so far traded. All right, really quick, guys, just for all of us on social media, Greg also posted the news from our trading room on the SRNE trade. So Sorrento releases positive results, not related to COVID. Pretty interesting. Results of phase 1B trial of their drug in reduction of osteoarthritis, knee pain. All right, cool. All right, cool. So we have PLL on our list. This one I'm disappointed by, guys. The OXBR trade. Ugh. Now, it's not uncommon to see a stock come out with news that pumps up super early in the morning and then dumps off even before 9 a.m. It's not uncommon. So, hopefully it didn't fool anybody here, but we ended up seeing this make the pop over 2. We were looking to see this begin to build support right here. As soon as it popped over 2, came back under 2. And at that point, you got to ask yourself, well, if it's not breaking higher, what other way is it going to go? So it did flatten out for a little bit longer, but big drop off from here. So the OXBR, definitely a pump and dump already at this point. I would say it's just going to flatten out. Maybe later on in the morning, make it squeeze up. I'm not as keen to put this on our list, just with this pattern in mind. All right, GLBS shipping stock. We have our long history with GLBS and tops inside our live trading room here. I'm not going to go into that right now just to conserve time. But yeah, that's a cheapie. It's teased us in the past. We're not going to focus on this, at least just yet. All right, CBAT on our list. I'm just taking a quick look back at this one here, guys. So it ended up making the push right up to where? 320. So came a little close to 325, 330 that we were looking at just from the matrix. But again, same thing, not breaking higher or not holding a higher low and pushing back up. pulling right back down. All right. Oh man, let's see. We'll just kind of skim through here, folks. If there's any other familiar names, I guess LAC perhaps in coordinates with PLL, lithium stock. It says it right in the stock name. So if I put one on, I'll feel more inclined to put the other on too. So I'll do that, but I'll look for more familiar names. Shell is one that we've traded in the past, albeit very pricey. It's making a strong push up here. I don't know what the news is on this. We'll just take a quick look. I think I have my Benzinga Pro loaded now. Oh man, it's very, very slow. All right, never mind. Shell, nice push up at least from what appears to be 49.50, moving up to essentially here the pre-market top for right now, around that 52. You know, the order book will fill in a little bit more on this trade after the market opens, but I'd still expect a very big spread on this. All right, here we go for Shell, SHLL. No headline, at least from Benzinga. Nothing after 8:40 Eastern time. So again, same thing. We'll put this on our list. Doesn't need to have a news headline for us to put it on. We've been following this stock quite a bit over the last month or so, EV stocks. So it's been pushing up and down with the rest of them, like NEO, WKHS, you know, Blink perhaps too. Blink is one from Friday, even we can get to from our side list. But yeah, for right now, I don't mind adding this. PLM, I think news out on this too, but ugly chart. Not much going on here. FMCI, little pop, same thing though, just nothing really going on the order book. All right, Space, SPCE, thank goodness. All right, so obviously this is right on our list already. So this was one that I put on the pre-market watch list as soon as I opened up the trading room. The news headline on this, I think it was a price upgrade. That was it. I think that's all I saw. I think an analyst, I think even Bank of America, if I'm not mistaken, ended up upgrading them. So we ended up seeing them make a nice steady push early in the pre-market. It held underneath 18 for as long as you could see there, and out of nowhere, just big pop, and instantly from that point, the run up. So I would anticipate 18 to act as a support should it pull back down there after the market opens up. But yeah, Space is one that we're pretty familiar with. We've traded this off the IPO even back from last year. Maybe even 2 years ago at this point. Let me just check. Is that beginning of 19? Even from 17. Okay, so it wasn't necessarily off the IPO, or at least from as far as you could see. It was back right here. You could see going back into 2019. That's when we first caught our eye on Space. Breaking out here, pushing an all-time high, dropped off, and then squeezed all the way back up. So you know, we've had our eye on this stock for quite a bit already. All right, WRR, same thing as the OXBR. I put this on the pre-market watch list too. This one we are able to catch at least a little bit off the 2 breakout there. What goes up comes back down though. If it's not going to break higher, it did hold over 2 for a little bit, but after it ended up spiking to its pre-market high, slammed right back down under 2, and well, the rest is history. So yeah, I mean, you know, they're up big, they're active, but it doesn't mean that they're going to squeeze right back up after 9:30. You know, a lot of times stocks like these will tend to kind of pull back even after the market opens up, and then maybe, you know, hopefully around like 11ish in the morning, late morning, early afternoon, you'll tend to see it make the push. So we'll keep an eye on these perhaps just a little bit after the open there. CLF, interesting. We are pretty familiar with this stock. We haven't really traded this one in quite a bit, but more so going back into March, April as the markets were, you know, still falling off at the time. But CLF, big gap up this morning. I don't know what the news is at this point. We're just going to skip over that. I think my Benzinga Pro is just giving me some issues. But yeah, CLF, it looks kind of flat, not as much of a trend until after 9 a.m. Drop, pop. So this is one for more after the market opens. You wouldn't really look to, you know, put this on the pre-market watch list just based on this trend, but based on, you know, what could happen after 9:30, then certainly we'll put this on. So CLF is more of like a level 1 to 2 stock, I would imagine. All right, we got a couple of comments here from Leda inside our trading room. AMBO we'll take a look at. Gonna pop right here on this stock. AMBO flying up over 60% already. Geez. Yeah, I mean, great call. So hopefully this isn't a pump and dump too, but ended up making the pop from around that like 230-ish, 240 up to a high of what appears to be 350. Yep, 349. I'll quickly take a look on the matrix here really fast. So volume filled off 320, and you could see that too, perhaps just from looking at time and sales quick. But the matrix volume bars show at least volume filled off 320 and 3. So two potential levels to watch on this trade. Really, really good call. Wow. All right. Pop over 350 there. Notice lack of volume filled off 350 though. I could see this pulling right back down. All right, cool. Let's see if there's anything else on the gainer side, guys. I mean, I like the list that we have already. We got to hop over to the losers list. I&O is a gimme. That one will easily just be on our list right away. I want to just go over what happened on that. DVN, Devon Energy, I think talks of them buying out another company, if I'm not mistaken. We don't really tend to trade the buyouts because they flatten out really, as soon as the news comes out, and then really after the market opens, doesn't provide much opportunity. All right, let's hop over to the losers list while we can, guys. We'll just kind of skim through there. I&O, let's just go to down 34+% still. Looks really flat, but going into the market open, it will move again. So I&O, news out on this was that they, I think, suspended their testing for COVID-19 vaccine, or at least phase 2, phase 3 trials. The FDA, or the, I think it was the FDA, asking for questions in relation to it. That's the headline that I got. So, you could dig deeper into the story, but obviously the reaction speaks for itself. So as soon as the news came out, and this actually was halted for a little bit, once it reopened, rather, ended up just getting crushed down towards 10, bounced from the major whole number support from that point, squeezed up. So, it's trading these 50-cent and whole number levels really nicely. I would say at least going into the market open, aside from those two, or those increments, I would say there's one price I'm watching. I wrote it down from pre-market super early when I knew I was covering for Fausto today. I kind of jumped up early, lined up my platform early enough. So it actually coincided near perfect. This is really supposed to be 1177. There was like a 42,000 share print filled on the tape as soon as this opened up from its halt, and then from there, dropped off more. But as this ended up moving up, not only did it kind of hold major resistance off of 12 whole number, but pretty much right here off 1177 from where we saw the big volume filled, it ended up holding nicely. So I would say 50-cent levels, whole numbers, and that last peak there too, around that 1180-ish, 1177. All right, cool. Bunch of crap, hard to borrow otherwise. Man, and U1K's down 20%. Is that from Friday's close even? I know a lot of these companies ended up running up. A lot of the black-oriented companies that ended up moving up from, what was it, back in June, July time? Like the Carve, the U1, the Cohen. A lot of those stocks ended up making those big pump and dumps. Well, we ended up seeing more life on this U1 trade, U1K. That's Class K stock. U1 here is the main one. So pop from 4 up to 7, ended up moving up higher going into the after hours, and then even higher here in pre-market. So you could see it's like kind of still beginning to dump off. There's still more room to see this potentially dump back down. So don't be led to believe that these stocks will instantly be great trades after 9:30. It's kind of making that same move as like that OXBR, or we ended up seeing the CBAT as well, right? So for a lot of those trades, I would anticipate them to kind of fizzle out, and then perhaps later into the morning move up. So given the news and the activity here, we'll at least add U1 and perhaps U1K, and I think those two are the only ones that we'll add. The others are very low volume, less liquidity traded, lower float too. So Carve, Cohen, COHN, this one too. Look how ugly this chart is. So, you got to pick and choose, right? And then Donnie, oh, that's a good call, Donnie. Also from our chat board here, one of our students saying BYFC. Yes, really good reminder. That one too. This one trades more volume. I think this one's higher float, so I don't mind adding this one. Good call. Just to keep a smaller eye on if in case they end up running up again. All right, guys, let's take a quick look from the chat board. I see Jerry's making some good money on DVN and Dick's Sporting Goods. We got Wayne on the AMBO, though. Whew, Wayne's picking up 50 cents a pop altogether on AMBO. Leda ended up getting in with an 85-cent profit. She ended up jumping in small shares, but she said she got in right from 405. Very nice trading. And then, yeah, I mean, this thing's squeezing up perfectly right now. for as much as this is moving up, guys, there's no halts in pre-market based on volatility. Going into the market open, I would anticipate to see this pull back. If it ends up popping right out of the gate, it's going to pull right back down. All right, cool. What's the news on INO from Peter on YouTube? So I have Benzinga Pro up right now. It was a pain in my butt early this morning here when I was starting the meeting. So I'll copy and paste now for all of us. So that's the long story right there. But FDA notified the company. It has additional questions about the company's plan, phase 2, phase 3 trial. And I think with that, I think even the company suspended. All right, guys, cool. Anything else? Up, down, left, right, 5% or more. I'll take a quick look on Benzinga Pro, like the signals page, but that AMBO is taking up most of it. The SR&E is already on our list. Got a private message from one of us there. Maybe I'll check out, I guess, just maybe one more time. I'll take a look on some of these other stocks from our side list. Like the Neo trade, perhaps. That's a good setup. Should it break out over 19 shortly after the market opens up? Pop over 19, perhaps to see it hold over that level, or maybe over the pre-market top there, then move up higher. Or if it's false breakout, the markets drop off, then that could be the beginning point for a short. So it's a good setup altogether. Sorrento is pushing back up nicely. So again, I think our hands are full already with all that we have on our list to begin. All right, folks, time is 9:21. I made decent timing here. So I want to make sure that we have enough time to still prep, line up our big levels of support resistance going into the market open. Make sure that you guys have your order type set and ready just in case. For all of us here live, keep in mind, we'll tend to wait the first 5 minutes after the market opens up. We're not going to throw a dart on the wall and hope it lands. Just because good news comes out doesn't mean the stock's going to instantly, move up. I mean, just take a look right at OXBR, right? Just because it dumped back down here, guys, doesn't mean it's going to run all the way back up. So, just make sure that your stops are set as soon as you get into a lot of these trades. And from there, guys, for all of us live inside the trading room, I'm going to take a small break. And then shortly after the market opens up, I'll hop back on the mic. All right, guys, for anybody tuning in on social media, as always, if you'd like to learn more about Cyber Trading University, make sure that you guys first and foremost like and subscribe right on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/cybertradingu. And alongside that, make sure that you guys notify yourself just to know when we're going live, when we're not. I had alluded last week, and we'll be doing this soon. We're going to be hopping on live just, kind of surprisingly here and there for you guys, maybe do a quick 30-minute session here and there. So, definitely makes sense to notify, hit the bell at least right from that point. And for all of us in the trading room, again, just, I'm going to post and tweet the picks, and we'll look to work together going into this Monday morning. Take care.